Charlie got it bumping.
Leg drop, boot to the face, we won't fold. Quick to put a dude in this place, he out cold with a tombstone, grab her the waist, get laid flat. Can't escape, nowhere to go, the cage match. It's on now, when I spot him, it's no problem. Everybody stone cold till they hit with the rock bottom. Sharpshooter, I won't miss him like Bret Hart. Like Al Snow, they gon' need him a head start. I just might catch a better body than Mickey James. Get acquainted with the name, we bringin' the pain. Like Kane in the ring, all I see is red. Paul Bearer, Undertaker, I can see the dead. John Cena putting hands in your face. Ted DiBiase got $1 million on the waist. B2TF, better stay in your place or get smacked down, play it safe. What you talking about?
Welcome to another episode of Boot to the Face here on YouTube. I'm Chris Rucker along with EJ Reed, and we are live for the third time now, EJ? Third time we've been back live?
Yeah, hopefully third time's the charm.
Yeah, still working out a little bit of the kinks. What I need to do is hook up my stream deck that I used to use back when we were doing Twitch and 80 proof and all that shit. I think that'd make it a lot easier. It's just a bitch to hook it up, but we're live. We're here on YouTube, and we got a lot to talk about in the world of pro wrestling. How was your weekend?
Chill, laid back, not much on my end. But you had an adventure this weekend, didn't you?
Yeah, we got some snow up here in Atlanta. Shit shut down, had a 3-day weekend, which was unexpected. I'm not mad at it, though. And then went to see some AEW wrestling up at the University of Georgia, which was a lot of fun. I wish I could tell the story of what happened after AEW, but to keep all parties safe at home. I'll tell you off the air if you want to know. But yeah, it was a lot of fun partying in Athens. I'll tell you what, the drink prices on the college campus, way better. I was there with a couple of my buddies, and we went to the bar used to be called Gator Hater. I don't know why they changed the name of it. I think it got bought out or something like that. But you would think that bar would be popular at UGA and would never change. But it changed to All Good or something like that. Anyway, we're in there, and one of my buddies buys a round. So now I'm like, well, fuck, I guess I got to buy a round. So I go to the bar. I get a Jack and Coke. He was drinking Shinerbach, I think. And my other buddy was drinking Terrapin Los Bravos, some kind of IPA. And I'm thinking like $33, $34, like at least $12 a drink, $12, $20 for all three drinks. I was like, what? I'll buy another round.
Sounds like a bargain to me. I mean, they kind of got to if most of their customers are college kids, because college kids are broke. If you price it out too high, you're gonna have no business.
I don't know if they're broke at the University of Georgia.
I mean, they got their parents' money, but you still balling on the budgets somewhat. So
yeah, I remember back in the day when my buddy was going there and I would go party. We went to ladies' night one night, and it was like nickel beers or something like that. It was probably like Miller High Life or whatever. Yeah. Maybe it was quarter beers. That's what it was, quarter beers. And I don't really drink beer, but for a quarter, shit. Beers is going down smooth.
They're probably dollar beers now if it was quarter back then. Yeah, definitely dollar beer now. But,
one thing I noticed, and then we'll get to some wrestling, is I was at this college bar, and I hadn't been there in 20 years probably, which one makes me sound old as fuck. What I'm about to say again is about to make me sound old. So we're there, and we're sitting at this little booth, and you're just kind of people watching. And you notice, one, all the guys look really young. And two, the women that are in it, now it's a 21 and older bar, so everybody's over 21, you would hope. But the women, it's like, oh, she's pretty good looking. And then she turns around, and you see her face, and she looks like she's a teenager. Like, they have these grown women bodies and these little bitty young kid faces. And I was asking my buddy, I was like, did they look like that when we were their age? And we just didn't notice because we were the same age. And now that we're older, it's like, you look young. Or is this just a thing now? Because when I was younger, I don't remember thinking that the girls looked young. I thought they looked good when I was younger.
Nah, they definitely look younger. Even if you compare the photos to somebody even around our age group, you know, I started noticing that with my nephews. He was born in 2000. Like his class, like you said, these kids, even if you're talking about the boys, they got these like young boy faces, but they got like grown man bodies, which is weird. They're like 6'4" kids, and they got like little kid faces somehow.
Yeah, but notice that the reason I was there was because I went to see AEW, which we can get into now if you want to talk about that.
Yeah, man, let's get it.
So AEW was at a smaller a smaller arena. It was set up for like 2,300 people. The last I looked on WrestleTix, there was only like a couple hundred seats left. It was still only half the arena. They had most of it sealed off, but the crowd, for the most part, was really good. It was on a college campus, so there's a couple little dickheads that were there making some chants that, there was kids there too. That was one of the things me and my buddy Joey talked about was I don't think I've ever seen that many kids at an AEW show, even though it was on a college campus. Like, young kids. And dudes behind me started to chant, like, you're a pussy to somebody or something like that. And it's like, come on, man. Like, you see all these little kids around here. But, I mean, just drunk and just shit they were saying to the wrestlers and just yelling out was kind of like, as the night went on and they got drunker, the shit got more vulgar. And it was like, all right, bro, like, you're not a child, but I guess you are. So that was kind of at one point, and it's going to make me sound stupid because I can't remember the guy's name. He's an ROH. He's a black dude. He's got braids. He was teaming
Lee
with...
Moriarty?
No, he was teaming with Shane Taylor Promotions, but he's not in Shane Taylor Promotions. Anyway.
Was it infantry? One of the infantry dudes?
No, he was like... I can't remember his name to save my life. But I mean,
it wasn't EJ Ndoka because he teams up with Lee Johnson. I don't think it was him.
Yeah, that's who it was. Maybe they were fighting Shane Taylor Promotions. I can't remember. By this time of the night, I was drunk. But anyway, he's out there, and the guy keeps calling him Kofi Kingston. And I know...
Yeah, that's just racist.
Right. And I in my mind, I'm like, all right, like, everybody makes fun of somebody. I'm like, oh, it's the AEW version of, inner wrestler here. So, like, but then he kept saying it. And eventually, I turned around and just looked at him. And he stopped. But I was like, am I going to have to tell you you're being a cocksucker right now? Or are you just going to, like, mind your business? And then, this will be a sensitive topic. But we get there. And, well, first off, we had to break in because the GPS took us. We walked from the bar we were pre-gaming at. The GPS took us past the parking lot around to the front of the building where the AEW trucks were. And there was no access to get in right there. So we had to go up these, it was like 10 flights of stairs. Me and my buddy, and then there was another couple in front of us. We got to the top of the stairs after them because they were in front of us. And the girl's like, I'm not going all the way back down those stairs and walking around. They had it barricaded off when you got to the top of the stairs. What? And you could see the people going through the ticket thing like 50 yards over. So I was like, yeah, I'm jumping that fucking barricade. And as we got closer to it, you could see the barricade had already been open. So we walked through the barricade. The tickets and the metal detectors and shit are to our left. The door is to our right. We're already past the metal detectors and shit. So I was like, yeah, let's just go over here and, I don't want anybody to say anything. We have any kind of issue. And I go up to the guy and he's like, I didn't see anything. Just going in. I'm like, well, goddamn, I feel safe. Right?
Oh, man.
It's like, all right, well, I guess I'll put my pistol back in. But
I know, right?
So we're walking around the arena. These small venues, like, I don't know if you remember Orlando. What was that, Revolution we went to? Was that Revolution we went to in Orlando?
Uh-huh.
if you remember, there was only one. Well, I don't know how it was on your side. There was only one fucking drink making place, like bartender. This one didn't have many of them either, at least on the level we were on. So we got in line for that. Show started like 7:30. We got there like 7:45. Our seats are front row, last two seats on the end. I can see one seat, and I can see half of the other seat. And the reason I can only see half of it is because the guy that was next to me was sitting in my seat in half of it.
Oh, man.
So, in order to not be an asshole, I walked up to him and I said, "Excuse me," like we were about to go by them, so he'd have to stand up. And then I sat down. And he realized he was going to have to not share my seat with me. So he and my buddy's like, "I'll move over as much as I can." And so about 10 minutes later, we stood up for something, and he didn't stand up. And I looked down, and he's back in my seat again. And I'm like, "Yo, is there any way we can slide down a little bit so I can sit in my seat?" I was trying not to be a dick, but I was also like, we paid for front row fucking seats. These seats weren't expensive, but they weren't cheap either. Like, I didn't pay to come here and share my fucking chair with you. Like, I'm sorry that your chair won't suffice, but we're not going to do this. So, that was only an issue for like the first 30 minutes after a couple little
that's a long time.
Yeah. By the time the show like started and got going. Also, I ain't gotten drunk. Like, I was standing up half the show. Like, it was like, could I let this ruin my night and like try to get this guy to move or whatever, or just have a good time? But it was still annoying. But the venue was nice. It was lit well. I just don't like.
You said you said it was cut off. Half it was cut off. What do you mean by that?
There was no option to buy seats on the other side of the arena. Like, all the shit was behind the hard camera. Now, there was a couple people sprinkled on the other side, but they filled in everything behind the hard camera and going around. And then they let people, like, I guess, walk up tickets. They started opening up on the other side. There was people in the club seats and shit like that on both sides. But as far as, like, they had people on the floor on that side, but the riser level behind them, there's, like, maybe 15, 20 people on that side. So all the videos I took looks like there's nobody there, but behind me there's like a couple thousand people.
That's interesting. I like to see how that arena is set up in general. If you said they cut off all the hard camera side, that's weird.
If you remember SummerSlam in Nashville, how they had it. Like,
yeah.
WWE had the whole hard camera side tarped off, and everybody was on this side, so it looked like the fucking place was full, but it was half full. It was just like that. That's basically how they do it. A fun show, like real fun, with like interacting and shit. The wrestling was really good. Besides that Jericho match, that was trash.
Why would they end with that?
I'm not gonna give any kind of like spoilers, but ROH was pretty good. That airs Thursday. ROH was good. There was man, that Harley Cameron and Mariah May match was just fun. Like, Harley Cameron's hilarious. I do feel though that we got a little gypped. I mean, they didn't advertise anything that didn't happen, but because of the snow, like, I know there were wrestlers that couldn't fly into Atlanta. They were posting about it that day, and then a lot of them had to drive in. So I do feel like we kind of got gypped on like the superstar wrestlers showing up, but you know, it was a fun show.
Maybe that's why Jericho main evented.
Maybe.
And then
was he the main event? I couldn't even remember.
Yeah, on Collision it was on our TV. Did they have ROH before and after, or just after?
Before and after.
Yeah, that's how they usually do it.
So it was
Did you get it there for?
What's that?
I was gonna say, did you get there for the pre-show ROH?
Yeah, I guess we got there like 7:30, 7:35, so we got to see like 3 ROH squash matches. And I mean, the way they do it too, like, there ain't no pomp and circumstance. They're like, as soon as one match is over, they're like, all right, get the next fucking enhancement talent out here with no intro, and then the next person comes out with their entrance, and then they beat the shit out of them. So it was like 5 or 6 matches recorded for ROH this week.
Okay.
I don't know how many they'll air, but it's about 5.
You air all of them.
Yeah, it's about 5 or 6 matches. Only 2 women's matches the whole night, though. I was disappointed in that. Luckily, one was Red Velvet. And
Combined? So combined ROH and AEW?
Yeah.
Mariah May
unless
and Red Velvet?
unless I'm not remembering something. Mariah May and there may have been one more on ROH.
Probably Layla Hirsch. She's always up.
No, she wasn't there. Yeah,
wasn't Billy Stark, was it?
No, looking through my photos and shit, like I only see 2 women's matches, so yeah, it was probably just that. Good ending to Collision with the fucking run in by Hobbs and we didn't think Moxley was there because of all the shit that had happened earlier. We was like, oh shit, Moxley ain't here, and we're literally we're in the corner right here, and we're literally looking at all the shit go down, and I turn around and the motherfucker's like 2 feet from me, just walking like. I don't know where the fuck he came from. I was like, oh shit, there's Moxley. And he started whooping ass, him and Marina. Marina looks good.
Yeah. That saved it from a dud of a main event. The aftermath was fun.
Yeah.
And then it made you want to tune in this Wednesday for Hobbs' title match. So
yeah. I got a good little video with me and Hobbs. He was walking by and I put it out there to take a little selfie, and he's fucking like posing and shit in the video. That was dope. It was fun. It was a fun night. I will say this: you're talking about the seating chart. AEW, I don't know what they're doing with their ticket stuff. So they were showing a video or a little graphic of their next like 10 shows or so, and they had one in Atlanta. And my buddy's like, did that shit just say Atlanta? And the guys next to me was like, yeah, it's at it's in College Park at some small venue. And I'm like, well, that's better than Duluth, but it's like February 5th, I think, right? That's 3 weeks from now. Tickets still haven't gone on sale. We didn't even know there was a fucking event until Saturday. That was the first day it announced of it. Maybe
it was like a last minute. They were supposed to go somewhere else and they changed it to Atlanta.
Right, but wouldn't you then, like, so one thing WWE used to do back in the day, I don't know if they still, I can't remember the last WWE show I went to. But one thing they used to do, especially when they would come to Atlanta, is the next time they were coming to Atlanta, they announce it at the show, and then you could go outside and buy tickets to it before you leave. You get a special pre-sale for being there. Why wouldn't they put those tickets on sale Saturday night or even Monday? Like, they go on sale. Pre-sale goes on sale this Thursday, is what my buddy just texted me. That's less than 3 weeks they got to fucking get a couple thousand people in that building.
Yeah, that's something they definitely need to clean up, take note. But one thing I'll give them credit for is they're doing better with like the online advertisement, because anytime I'm near like a place that they're about to go, it shows up in my algorithm for like in Facebook and Instagram. The ads will pop up. So yeah, but like you said, they got to clean up like as far as time when they put the tickets on sale. Like you said, it's a few weeks.
And you might be right. Maybe it was another venue got canceled and they just did this at last minute. But I don't know. I tell you what, if I do go, because AEW tickets aren't that expensive. If I do go, I'm way more looking forward to this arena than driving all the way out to fucking Duluth. Like, this arena that it's at now is like, I think it was like a 13-minute ride from my house to get to College Park.
It's an Uber.
Right. And a lot of drink. Pre-game on the way, the whole 9.
Yeah, that'd be. Is it a Dynamite or a Collision?
It's Dynamite, actually. It's Wednesday.
Nice. It might be worth going, man.
Other thing I wanted to talk about was their merch. It was awful.
They've always had unorganized merch stands. I don't know. I don't know. It's been 5 years. It feels like you could get that on track.
Name off the top of your head the top 5 people that should have merch at a merch stand from AEW. Who do you think would make the most money and people are clamoring for their merch?
I'd say Tony, Osprey,
Tony who?
Storm.
Okay, she didn't have
Not Khan.
anything.
Definitely not Khan.
I just making sure.
Osprey.
Osprey had merch.
If you're going like old school traditional, I would say not Death Riders because they're supposed to be a heel. Like traditionally, you don't see a lot of heel merch.
Well, they didn't have any.
Swerve.
Nope, no Swerve.
That's 3, and probably MJF.
He had a scarf.
And I'll put another woman on there, Mercedes.
Nope. And I was there for
it's crazy.
At least a Mercedes shirt. I'd have got a Swerve shirt. Like, if you know anything about me, you know when I go to events, it doesn't matter if it's a concert, a pay-per-view, a Monday night thing. Like, I always want a shirt from it. Usually when I go to a pay-per-view, I'll get like the pay-per-view shirt or the hoodie or whatever. But I don't know. It's just my thing I've always done. There was nothing up there I was willing to drop money on. They had a fucking Outrunners t-shirt.
I know they're like, what do you say? Like underground, like people like them. A lot of people like them, especially like online. But you said they didn't have Osprey?
No, they had Osprey. They had like a soccer jersey for Osprey. MJF had a scarf that said
no Swerve or no Mercedes.
MJF scarf said, "I bought this because I can't afford the real one," and then on the ends of it, it said "mid."
That's hilarious. At least have her syndicate.
No, would have got that too. Another thing I was looking for. I'm trying to remember what they did have. They had like a Sting drawstring bag. They had Outrunner shit. They had the Osprey soccer jersey, and most of the other shit was just like AEW, like an AEW hoodie, an AEW zip up, an AEW t-shirt, New Year, New Deal, whatever the fuck that means. Like, I guess they're bragging about their fucking TV deal on a t-shirt, and people were buying it. But hey, if people are buying it, people are buying it. But yeah, the merch line wasn't long because there wasn't really shit anybody wanted up there.
Where I was looking for, all around like cult favorites. That's the word I was looking for. But as far as they didn't have any Mercedes and no Swerve and no Hurt Syndicate, I thought Tony Khan, he did a good job of like putting the people that look like us on, but the merch ain't reflecting it.
In Atlanta, I mean outside Atlanta, but still in Atlanta,
Georgia. Yeah, that is weird. I don't know. I have no clue. Maybe production isn't, but aren't they like? Don't the wrestlers get a chance to sell their merch like on Pro Wrestling Tees and all that? Maybe some of it is independent from the inventory that AEW keeps.
See, I don't know how that works because I know like Toni Storm has her own store, right? If you go to her store, if you click on her AEW merch that's on AEWmerch.com or whatever the fuck it's called, it takes you there. But if it's one of her like old shirts that she used to sell, you just buy it straight from PWTs. But PWTs is basically AEW's fucking merch store. Like, that's who makes all their shit. So maybe they just leave the most popular people online. That way you could pay those high ass fees with shipping and handling and tax and processing fees and all that shit. Because I don't know if you ever bought a t-shirt from Pro Wrestling Tees, especially lately. It's about $50 by the time you get done with everything for a fucking t-shirt.
I have, but I can't remember the last shirt I bought from them. Or maybe they're like, AEW tells them, all right, we can carry your merch, but if y'all do it through us, we're going to keep a bigger chunk of your, profits or whatnot. But if you go, the Pro Wrestling Tees, you get to keep more of your own profit.
I don't know, because again, like I said, like all these wrestlers have AEW official shirts. They just don't take them to the fucking events for some reason. Like, I don't know. I think it's a big time missed opportunity. And I would give them the pass of, well, it was a snowstorm in Atlanta. They probably couldn't ship. They never have good merch wherever we go. Or they run out. Like, at Revolution, they fucking ran out of the Sting t-shirts that were there. How do you run out?
No clue. Do they have Buck stuff?
No, there's no Buck stuff there either. No Omega.
I'm su- so maybe it does tie in with like them selling, because Bucks are known for, they were like the pioneers of selling their own shit. So I don't know.
Maybe.
But yeah, either way, that's not that good of a look to not have it. So do better.
Yeah. That's about all I got from my Collision notes, EJ. If you want to move on, unless you got any more questions about what went down up there.
Oh man, sounds like you had a good time. So hopefully you get to go to Dynamite as well. That'd be dope.
You just mentioned Kenny a minute ago. I see in the notes you got Kenny returns. Unless you're talking about Kenny King.
Yeah, Kenny. Shout out to Kenny King, but nah. Oh, talking
Is
about the Omega.
Is he still doing the stripper gimmick?
That was hilarious. I know Joe Hendry put him on blast for that and was like making fun of him. But I don't know. He left TNA a little bit ago. I know he's doing the independents. I thought he may have tried to get on like ROH or AEW, on their roster or whatnot.
He's been around for a minute and like still just as fucking good and entertaining as he's always been.
But yeah, the Kenny I was referring to is Omega, and there were mixed reviews of his return. Maybe not so mixed, but there was a loud minority that weren't quite happy how he came back and who he jumped in with. People were saying that he should go for the title immediately, and when he came back, he had a heartfelt speech. I was feeling it, and then you had Don Callis interrupt it. So I don't know. What were your thoughts on there?
I liked it. I thought he looked, one of my gripes about Omega, especially, right before he left, was I felt like it was like he rolled out of bed. Like when he was the champ, he was wearing suits and shit. But then it was like he was just out there in pajamas. And I was like, you're on national TV, dog. But I thought he looked like a star. I like his new entrance. We both talked about that match he had with what's my man's name over in New Japan?
That one he Gabe
Kidd. Yeah, that match was phenomenal. So coming off of that, it's like I was excited to see him, man. I'm not an Omega guy. I was excited to see him. I thought his promo was all right. He talked about his story. I thought it was like AEW's quality control needs to step up a little bit more. Because about 20 minutes before that, you had Edge out there basically telling the same fucking promo that Omega was about to tell about all the injuries he's had to overcome and how he's had to come back. And it's like, yo, this ain't your night, dog. You should have did that shit weeks ago. But now all of a sudden you want to do that, and then, I don't know. Maybe people didn't notice it, but I was just like, when Omega was talking, I was like, damn, I thought I just heard all this. Maybe that's why it didn't hit like that for some people, and they just didn't realize. I don't know. But I thought it was a good promo. He looked good. I like the fact that he was like, I'm not here for revenge. I'm here to move forward. That motherfucker saw Don Callis and pounced on his ass. That shit went out the window.
He said, fuck all that noise. It's on site.
Right. I'm not here for revenge except for that motherfucker. Like, if I see him, it's going to be a misunderstanding.
Yeah, you didn't really see anybody attack Callis like that, except like what Moxley put that scar on his head backstage.
He still got that fucking scar, and it still looks open.
Yeah, I wonder if they do put a little extra on there, because it look like you said, it's still very prevalent on his forehead.
Yeah, it looks like they take some fingernail polish or something and just draw it down right there. But yeah, he still had that, and Omega saw him, and like you said, it was on site. Ospreay comes out, makes a save as Omega's getting beat down by the Callis family, and they tease a little bit of not dissension, but just like not timidness. What would be the word I'm looking for?
Hesitant?
Yeah, they were hesitant towards like trusting each other, which if you know the history of Omega and Ospreay, you know why. Like, they've had a feud, they've had a beef for a while. Hopefully AEW will tell us about this for the people that don't know the history of Omega and Ospreay. And even for those of us that do, I don't mind a refresher every now and then. Oh, shit, that's right. Ospreay was mad at Omega because he was overseas when COVID hit and Omega's making all this money and that's what their beef was about. I forgot about all that. It ain't going to kill them to remind us about all that. That raises the tension a little bit more. Tension was the word I was looking for. But
maybe they will.
Yeah,
but
I hope so.
Because some of it spilled over in AEW. What was that last year, 2023? They had a match at Forbidden Door, wasn't it?
Yep. That was the match I was talking about where Ospreay was cutting those fucking crazy promos on Omega.
And then, I mean, they're partners with New Japan. They had matches in New Japan, if I'm not mistaken. There was a younger Ospreay, so they could even dive back that far as far as retelling their story. And I don't know how. I guess it depends on how they play out. If they are doing more segments with each other, maybe they'll go back and touch on that.
If they're not gonna go Omega for that ain't gonna work. I was thinking Hurt Syndicate wins the tag titles, and then you have Omega and Ospreay versus the Hurt Syndicate. But I'd already penciled somebody else in that spot to fight the Hurt Syndicate, and I can't remember who it was.
You put the titles on Hurt Syndicate, they're probably gonna have it for a long time. So I don't know if you want to play Omega and Ospreay in there. Was it Swerve or somebody you thinking about?
No, it was. They were white. I remember that.
Are they a tag team or are they a group?
No, they're two singles. I'm sorry. I think about this shit like when I'm driving around and I can't write it down. Two
singles guys?
Who?
You said it's two singles guys. It's not a tag team.
I was thinking about putting them together and going up against the Hurt Syndicate, but I can't remember.
It's not Darby, is it?
Nah, Darby's gone. He's got he's taking months off to go climb Mount Everest, so he doesn't get hurt like he did last year.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's not important. It was just fantasy booking anyway.
But yeah, one more thing though. Did they have any prior run-ins with Hurt Syndicate?
No.
This was like a hangman.
This was just me putting a couple people together that could actually compete with Shelton. Because I mean, we all realize they're going to win the tag titles, right?
Yeah.
Like as soon as they fight them boys for the tag titles, I'm kind of glad it's not this week, just to give Private Party at least another week with the belts.
Yeah, and then I was going back and just thinking about tag teams, and AEW has a lot of tag teams, even if you include the tag teams within the faction. So I wish they would kind of flush everything out and have like a pecking order, because I feel like the tag teams are all like kind of doing their own thing. Like FTR is not really focused on the belt. You got the Outrunners that are up and coming. You have a claim about to break up if they don't hurry up with that. Then you got the tag teams, like I said, within the groups. You got some in the Death Riders. And then House of Black, it look like they're about to kind of break up. Maybe Alistair/Malachi is back on his way to WWE. So people have been putting things in their air as far as either being singles or just a tag team on their own.
Such a weird run that he's had with AEW, right? Like, I don't understand it. I don't understand what the hell's happening. Nobody's reporting that he's gone, but like, to me, it seems like they're writing him off of TV. Everybody else is recruiting the rest of the House of Black. How come nobody tried to recruit Julia Hart?
I don't know. She'll probably, she's got the cachet where she would just go on her own anyway. But yeah, like nobody's really trying to recruit her. Yeah, like you said, an interesting run for Malachi. I don't think he wanted to be a single star like that. I think he wanted to do the stuff with the faction because he never really went for any singles belts when he was in the company. And, I don't know. Him going back to WWE would be a complete slam dunk. I feel like he might be in that same level as Andrade, put on a good match, but not fighting for a world title or anything.
Yeah.
But he'll be with his wife, so even if it's a lateral move, at least he'll be with his wife. So
I'm not in the know, but I listen to people that are. like people that report and that work in wrestling media, and the word about Black is that he doesn't want to take losses in singles matches. That's why, like, the last time he wrestled was it Ospreay? When he took a loss, he kind of took it like, yeah, just go ahead and beat me. Like, I don't know if you remember this or not, but he kind of like,
I remember that. He's like that.
Yeah.
Put his hands out and just like sacrificed himself or whatever.
And I think that was kind of a ode to the people that know that he doesn't want to lose singles matches. So that's why he was always in a trifecta or a tag team, which is crazy though, because like this dude could have been one of the biggest stars there.
Hey man, sometimes you gotta eat shit to actually gain something. I mean, that's what I like about Ospreay. He's not afraid to take any L's because he knows like further down the line he got it. So
he might need to start saying something about that though. Like, goddamn, Tony, again. Again.
I mean, but people always have recency bias. People forget on the run he was like his first 6 months in the company. He didn't lose at all.
Yeah.
Until he got to Swerve, and then he took some losses in the tournament, but he made it to the finals. So. And then he got it back though at all out or all in. All in, he got it back. Yeah. He lost them MJF on TV in that Iron Man match or a 60-minute match, and then got it back at All In. So I mean, that's crazy though that Alistair, from what you've heard, he doesn't even want to take the losses. But, wow.
So we were talking about Darby a second ago. I don't know about you, but like I thought Darby was going to be the one to stand up and beat Moxley, but now he's taking time off. So if it ain't going to be Darby, who the fuck is it going to be, Omega?
I think it's still going to be Darby. I think he'll be back by Double or Nothing. I think whoever faces Moxley right now is not going to beat him. Edge or Cope ain't going to beat him. Probably going to do that at Revolution, I'm guessing. You got Dynasty if they do that again. Maybe Omega challenges and maybe lose. Because the way they set it up, in the very beginning when Mox was on his rampage, I think even before he recruited the rest of the former BCC, now Death Riders, he went up to Darby. He was like, "You'll never be champion." So I think they want to get back to that and have Darby be the one that's triumph over him. It has the power Sting.
Can you, first off, people that are watching, if y'all want to put in the chat who y'all think is gonna be the one to take the title off of Moxley, but if you're Tony Khan, can you really plan a world title victory on a guy that's going to climb Mount Everest? Like, I don't mean to be any type of way, but there's no guarantee this motherfucker won't die when he's up there.
I say, man, you got to go to morbid right off, don't you?
No, I'm just saying, like,
it's real
right.
talk. He might not make it back.
Exactly. So you're really planning a fucking storyline around a guy that's about to go climb Mount Everest, planning that he's just gonna climb Mount Everest on fucking Saturday, and by Wednesday he'll be back on Dynamite? Like,
yeah, I mean, that's why you gotta have a backup plan just in case something goes very, very wrong. Knock on wood, God forbid. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, maybe that's like we said, sometimes unpredictability isn't a bad thing. So maybe it's a good thing we don't really know who's gonna get it off of Mox, but they need to ramp it up as far as the Death Riders go. I feel like they're doing the same shit every week. Just attacking and then retreating.
Getting a bit NWO repetitive.
Yes, I need the next turn. That's one thing about the Bloodline storyline. They did have some low parts of it, like a low, but for the most part, it kept you in your season. I think a part of it was we didn't see Roman every week, so I think that put the Bloodline in its own kind of lore as far as the storyline goes, and it was kind of spaced out. Then you had like the characters that are able to keep it afloat when Roman was in the wave, like the Jay was over.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the one thing, a part of it is maybe nobody in the Death Riders has gotten that over where you could have Mox not be on TV some and then maybe be able to carry it. So I don't know. They got to think of something.
Yeah, I don't see people fucking cheering for Willa Yuta the way they. I feel like that's who they want to be the Jay version of this, if you can compare it like that, because he gets slapped around a lot, right? Like, even this past week, like, Cesaro just fucking slapped the shit out of him, and then left him out there to get his ass kicked.
It's hilarious.
So I feel like Yuta is the one that they're trying to draw sympathy for, but like nobody fucking likes Wheeler Yuta.
Better start shuckling driving, come up with a dance like Jay did.
I mean, Jay was over before that, though. But fucking like I don't know, it's just something about Yuta I don't like.
Even before Jay was super over there, he had like the sympathy guy as far as Sammy goes. When Jay was kind of being a dick still.
Yeah. And that was when, like, well, Jay was always, like, the guy to me, but when you saw his range with the Sammy shit, and even Roman was like, we all know you're the hothead in the family, and, like, throwing Sammy up in his face, that kind of made people be like, well, damn, we like Sammy, but shit, why are you fucking with Jay like that? But nobody's doing that with Wheeler Yuta. They're just like, oh, well, here's Yuta getting his ass kicked again.
Yeah. Yuta ain't that guy like that anyway. He can go in the ring, but as far as he's just like their young boy, as far as character goes, like you said, they just slap him around.
Right.
So maybe we'll see more range from him in the future. But I don't know. They need to come up with some type of like, pivotal point in the story.
Well, speaking of
like
Jay,
it's getting repetitive.
Let's go over to some WWE talk. Last night on Raw, Jay challenged Gunther for the world title at Saturday night's main event. That's not this Saturday, is it? What is that, 2 Saturdays from now?
Not this Saturday, Saturday after next.
Jay versus Gunther. Is that the only match announced?
Nah, they got Braun Breaker versus Sheamus. And I think that's the only 2 that I could think of off the top of my head.
Ooh, does Sheamus finally win the IC title?
I was thinking about that yesterday, because that's the only one he needs for the Grand Slam. But then, like, if you do that, I feel like this second reign with Braun Breaker is less eventful than the first one. The first one, he wasn't, like, tearing up everybody. So you just keep having him lose it, I guess. It's now or never for Sheamus, though. Like, I feel like he's running out of chances of him being able to win that IC belt. And I feel like this would be the opportunity to do it.
I feel like that match is kind of out of nowhere. I thought Sheamus was feuding with Mr. Stratton.
Ludwig Kaiser. They just, I think Monday was kind of like a blow off for them because after Sheamus won the match, he went up in Braun's face.
They fought last night. I didn't even see that match last night. I don't know what the fuck I was doing. Yeah, I do.
But yeah, I feel like they fought like all of the second half of last year and they played over in it this year. Like, kind of tired of seeing them wrestle. What's up with this transfer window? Like, I haven't really seen them implement it. I feel like this is the time to do it because we're starting to see the same matches over again.
Well, they just did their first one last night with
the Wyatt Six.
The Wyatt Six got transferred to SmackDown, and basically Bayley's all but on Raw right now. And then Nia Jax pulled up last night. Right now, the brand split ain't shit. Like, it doesn't even count anymore. I thought this was just like a thing they were doing for Netflix and all that at the beginning, but it just seems like everybody can just come and go as they fucking please now. Just be like, oh yeah, I got a meeting with Adam Pearce, and then next thing you know, they're in the ring interfering with some shit.
Well, maybe once the dust settles and they put in writing their transferring, and you start to see more stability as far as people moving around. But like you said, it's like the Wild Wild West as far as people just popping up on the show. Like,
yeah, I wish they would come out and say one way or the other, like, all right, the transfer window's open until this fucking date. But it doesn't seem like that's going to be what we're doing. But back to Jay and Gunther. They wrestle for the world title. You already know what I'm going to say. Put the fucking belt on Jay. Gunther ain't doing nothing with the belt. What has he done since he won?
I mean, he defended it against Damian.
And Finn, right?
And Finn, yeah.
But you don't really fucking... There's nothing memorable about Gunther's world title run right now. So why even leave the belt on? Just put the belt on Jay, let Gunther go into a fucking downward spiral, And maybe he takes the belt back at Elimination Chamber and something like that. I don't know. I think you want Papa Raiden, and they're in Atlanta right after that. Oh my God, I'm not going though. But could you imagine Jay in Atlanta with the world title?
It'd be lit. But I mean, if you do that with Jay, then how does the picture look going into WrestleMania? Because I don't know if Jay may be in their plans as far as carrying the world title into WrestleMania.
I don't think he is either. That's why I said put it back on Gunther like an Elimination Chamber. But it'd be a cool little start and stop with the title instead of just having Gunther walk through him again. Like Gunther said, I've already beat you twice. Now, he didn't put in there that he cheated both times. There's nobody to cheat, though. There's no Jimmy. There's no fucking Solo to mess with Jay. Like, it's one-on-one now.
Yeah, man. I don't know. But, yeah. Where's that match? Where's the, what you call it happening?
Saturday night's main event?
Yeah, that's in Texas, right?
Ooh. Is that in Texas?
I
thought it was somewhere they were. I remember it being somewhere where people were going to be like, oh, if they bring Hogan out, he ought to get cheered here. It might be Texas. San Antonio?
I hope he still gets booed out of that.
Oh, they're still going to try to get that motherfucker in there. Like, he's been in all the commercials. They've showed him come out on Netflix so many times. They don't show the boos, but they just show dan, 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 and they show him walking out flexing with no sound behind it. I'm like, you motherfuckers are sorry. I hope, if I do go to Raw in Atlanta, I hope they bring Hogan out. Because I'm going to start a chant.
Why?
It might not make TV.
That'd be dope if it picked up, though. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it would be dope if Jay won, but probably not, because you don't see a lot of. I don't think there ever been a world title switch on Saturday Night Main Event. I think they did for people that are listening, Rucker's putting his hand up, like that'd be the perfect reason to do it because it's never happened. But I think they've had like an IC title and tag team title. I think I looked up the history one day. It's only been like 2 title changes in the history of the show. But like you said, it'd be a good swerve if they did do it.
Yeah, because I don't think Jay is like in the plans for WrestleMania, but who knows? We'll see. Speaking of the plans for WrestleMania, we'll dive right into this too. Royal Rumble's looking stacked, the men's side anyway. Like
Roman,
you got Roman, Punk, Rollins, Cena, McIntyre. Like, I think Jay's already declared for it. Jimmy, I think, declared for it. Like, you got 5 or 6 people right there that you can see winning. You know, Cody ain't gonna win this year because he's got the fucking belt, unless KO takes it from him at the Rumble. Could you imagine KO takes the belt from Cody at the Rumble and Cody comes out at number 30 and wins again?
I'll throw a brick through my TV.
I was mad last year when he won.
I was kind of indifferent last year.
When it came down to him and Punk, I was like, well, let's fucking hope Cody wins. But
yeah, 3 years in a row, that's kind of excessive. But like you said, it's a pretty stacked field. Like Roman, I think they said this is his first Rumble in 5-6 years or so. Because he's been champion so long.
I think the last Rumble Roman was in was when he. No, that can't be right.
I was going to say 2019
when he defended the belt. I can't remember the last one Roman was. It has been a while since he's been in the Rumble.
Who was it that he faced at that Rumble before? It's not the Rumble, the Mania before the pandemic. Was it Drew or was it Baron Corbin?
He fought Drew at 35.
Okay, that's the one with Becky main event. So
yeah.
He wasn't in the Rumble that year?
He may have been. Okay. And Drew might have had something to do, because him and Drew had a beef going for a while there. And then, if I remember right, wasn't it like Drew, Baron Corbin, and somebody else, and that's what made the Shield come back together? Because Drew and I want to think Baron Corbin kept jumping Seth Rollins, And then Ambrose showed up all fucking jacked. Because he was like, you got a Scottish psychopath. Well, I got a lunatic fringe. And then Ambrose came out. Everybody's like, oh, shit. And next thing you know, the Shield came back together. They formed the Shield like 3 or 4 times, and it didn't last at all.
I know they did the initial one, and then it went away. And then Mox started doing all the fucking gas mask weird shit like the Bane or something, and then they had it with Kurt Angle, and then they had it one more time right before Mox went to AEW.
Well, see, the one with Mox, that one they formed randomly when Braun Strowman was about to cash in on Roman, and all of a sudden the Shield came out to save him, and they never fucking explained it. But then, like a couple weeks later, Roman announced that he had cancer again, and that was the night Moxley turned on Rollins, which I thought was dope. Like, if you're gonna do it that night. Like, who the fuck's gonna see that coming? But then the heel turn went to shit. But yeah, they reformed the Shield a couple times, and it was just like it never really hit the way they did the first time.
People were hyped when at first, reunion, but like you said, the momentum didn't last. It was kind of fell flat. Like maybe a couple times after they came out after that. But yeah, definitely nothing matched the momentum like they did their first run.
Yeah, I feel like they were all too big of stars to get back into a group with each other like that. Like it just wasn't enough meat to go around. You know what I mean? Like,
I think they did that so Roman would get chaired.
Yeah, I'm sure they did, but it still didn't work right just because they were all just too big for the Shield then, and it was too soon.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if in like 5 years Moxley comes back to WWE or they all show up at a show together somewhere else, like, money, print it.
I don't think Mox has any interest in coming back. There's a lot of people over there at AEW like, all right, they're probably gonna eventually come back to WWE. I think Mox will probably do it for Hall of Fame. I don't know if he'll do it for a run. He just marches to the beat of his own drum.
True, but one of his biggest issues was creative over there, and that ain't an issue anymore. That guy's at it.
Well, not as big of an issue, but look, as we can see, Tony's letting him do whatever the fuck he wants over there, even if it doesn't make sense or have any type of continuity to it. So, and he's getting paid, and he gets to go over to Japan. He seems like he really relishes in going over there in Japan. He was just the WGP champion last year. I mean, what? Never say never. Like you said, they might do one more in 5 years or so. But I don't know, man. Roman might be long gone by then, so
True.
I don't know.
Speaking of people that don't want to go back somewhere that they used to be, Corey Graves is throwing a full-blown temper tantrum about going back to NXT. I don't know if you saw his tweet. Did you see that?
Yeah, so initially, like, people were like, it's a work. He might be working to get to Pat McAfee, but I don't know. But this is what the tweet said. It said, imagine chasing your dream, then being told, and then in parentheses, not deciding that you're no longer physically able to pursue your dream. Then you dedicate your life to something dream adjacent and being pretty fucking awesome at it. And then when it's time to enjoy the fruits of your labor, being told you're not famous enough to do your own job, just in case you're wondering where I've been. So, shots fired at him.
Well, then he tweeted today, I got a lot to say. See y'all on NXT. And they was like,
pulled.
We just need 2 chairs at the commentary table tonight.
So I guess that's when it's not a work. He's shooting from the hip. If he was going to do that, so why he had to announce it? He should just went out there and say what he needed to say. Why did he have to announce it like that? I'm curious.
I really don't like Corey Graves, but I do feel bad for him. Like, he's been the most consistent announcer they've had besides Michael Cole for like the last 5 years, and they keep moving him around and throwing Pat McAfee out there. Every time he starts getting heated up, they're like, all right, McAfee's back. And I'm going to be honest with you. McAfee sucks. He's not good. He's corny as fuck on here. Like, I know his fucking podcast and his show is really popular. Like, I wish mine was that popular. But on commentary, he's trash. He's just a name. And, like, that's when it comes in to where on Netflix, we need a bigger name than Corey Graves. Now, does that include a pay cut that Corey Graves is complaining about? Or are you still making the same money? Because you're still making the same money. Shut the fuck up.
You might not like this, but if there was an odd man out and y'all could try to snatch my black card if I want to, I would have said, like, I would have slid Corey in there for Booker T and have Booker T on the kickoff shows.
Are you kidding me? Booker T is so much fun on NXT. Booker T is one of the reasons I watch NXT.
It's just not my cup of tea. But
I'll be on the elliptical watching NXT on Thursdays, and I'll just be laughing because I'll just hit play and it'll be Booker T just saying the most outlandish shit. And him and Vic, I think, got really good chemistry too. Like, Vic talks shit back to Booker T. Book gives it right back to him. Like, it's fun. I don't think NXT needs to be fucking Monday Night Raw or SmackDown. Like, it has its own vibe.
Like
you know what it is.
What's that?
I think somebody at home might have told Corey Graves he don't need to go to NXT. Because it's a lot of temptation down in NXT.
I mean,
he keeps his nose clean on the main roster. NXT, it's just one little bitty space and a whole lot of, as Booker T would say, no bread, no water, just meat.
If you looking at his track record and then looking at the woman back there, I mean, Carmella, she's a beautiful woman, but I don't want to say long in the tooth, but she's like in her late 30s now, and like you said, it's early 20-something year olds, and his track record, he was married before Carmella, so you put two and two together, maybe she did say you ain't going on there. But
maybe he's like, I'm an addict. I can't be. Y'all put me. This is like taking an alcoholic to a bar. We're just talking shit. We have no idea what.
Yeah. But as far as McAfee goes, when he first started, I was like a fan of it because I don't know. I'm a traditionalist. I like because he was like he leaned a lot heel when he first came in, but now he's like the fun guy and just out there goofing around. Like, all right. So
yeah, he's
kind of not my cup of tea now.
He was like a new version of Jesse the Body Ventura when he first got there.
Yeah, he healed it up, but now he's just a guy that does the yeet with Jay now. So
yeah, just like he was doing the Nakamura shit back in the day. JD Hoop in the chat says, I think Graves is going to wrestle again.
So he's leaning towards it is a work then.
Yeah. I mean, I never saw him wrestle, but do we really need Corey Graves wrestling in 2025? Is there room for him? Was he going to form a tag team with CM Punk?
But now I got my brain thinking, and it has the wheels turning inside my head. Like, maybe they're just going way out of their way just to work us, pulling them from the show. Because I feel like, he's not a dumb guy. I feel like he knows better than to tweet something like that out. Or maybe he just doesn't give a fuck anymore.
Well, if he pulled up on Pat McAfee on like a a fucking pregame live somewhere. College game day is over, but like somewhere like that, even on McAfee's show, just rolled up on him, start beating him about the head. It's work.
I guess we have to wait and see, but go ahead.
When we get that graphic, WWE's come to their terms of release with Corey Graves.
Yeah.
We wish him well in his future endeavors. If that happens, take Excalibur off of AEW today and put Corey Graves on there.
Yeah, it'd be like it's a endless cycle of people getting bumped for losing their job.
Excalibur's not good though.
I like Excalibur because he knows his shit, but sometimes he's just talking faster than he thinks. Sometimes.
Why is my commentator wearing a fucking luchador mask?
Now you just shitting on his fashion choice.
You're not a wrestler anymore, bro. Like.
This is gimmick. That's his get up.
He could have easily fucking. His name is Excalibur as a wrestler. He could have came out as fucking EJ Reed with no mask on. Like, he could have just made up a fucking name and been really good at commentating. But it's distracting. Every time they show them, I'm like, why is this motherfucker wearing a mask?
I'm not a huge fan of 3-man booth. I say take Shivani off of Dynamite and put Graves on there.
Tony did not look. I ain't gonna say like his health was bad. He looked really old on Saturday. Like he stood up and walked out and grabbed the mic and like he couldn't even like turn all the way anymore. Like he's stiff as hell now.
I still like Tony and Nigel on Collision. Obviously, have them on there as 2 men and have Corey take his place. He doesn't need to be doing 2 shows.
I'm not saying he needs to be off commentary. I'm saying they need to quit fucking putting him in the ring, making him interview people and shit like that. Like, dude could barely fucking move.
Damn, that's what you have. What's Big Cass's? Yeah, Big Cass's.
Alicia Toots there now. Renee Paquette.
Yeah, have them go on the ring if he's that slow around moving. But I don't know. Maybe they are working us. That'd be a hell of a work if they are. That's what wrestling's all about at the end of the day. But if not, then, like you said, he might get future endeavors.
But what would be the point of working us with Corey Graves on commentary, though?
Setting up his in-ring return, like the comment section.
Does anybody really want to see Pat McAfee and Corey Graves wrestle? At WrestleMania? When tickets cost $500 to sit next to Jesus? We want to see Pat McAfee versus Corey Graves?
That seems like a waste of a spot, too. But we know WrestleMania is the spectacle, entertainment, and like you said, Pat McAfee brings a lot of eyes on ESPN and whatnot. I don't, like I said, I'm not clamoring for that, but maybe they've done some metrics and maybe people want to see Pat wrestle.
Logan Paul's in the Royal Rumble too.
Yeah, and we don't look at dirt sheets like that, but I think I stumbled across something maybe over a Facebook group.
I don't want to hear
that people are saying that
they're already
might take the belt off of Gunther.
They're already posting spoilers for like what the WrestleMania matches and shit are gonna be, and every time I see that shit, I block the account. It could be an account that I follow for years and I like, but if you start posting spoilers for like what the matches are gonna be at WrestleMania, I'm blocking the shit out of you after I cuss you out because you're fucking up the road to WrestleMania.
Yeah, but what I was saying wasn't like a WrestleMania spoiler. It was saying that he might win the belt off of Gunther. I don't know. That'd be weird to me.
What if Jay wins the belt and they have Logan Paul win the fucking Rumble and he challenges Jay and beats Jay at fucking WrestleMania? That'd have to be night one because you can't go home with your biggest babyface, the most popular wrestler this side of Cody, losing the world title to fucking Logan Paul.
That seems like a Vince type of booking move. I don't see that happening. So I don't know. Not at WrestleMania. If Logan Paul is gonna win a world title, I think it'd have to be like SummerSlam-ish. We hadn't even really seen them on TV since they've been on Netflix, so
yeah,
we don't even know how they're using them.
Last thing before we get to Street Clothes Wrestler of the Week. Last night was the debut of Penta. What is he going by? Pentagon or Penta?
Just Penta.
Penta, yeah. I always call him Pentagon Jr., but there's some TNA things. I wrote Penta debuts and hoes are mad. Why are the hoes mad, EJ?
You tell me.
Apparently he went too long last night and other wrestlers are already pissed off that his segment went too long and other shit got cut short. First off, how is shit getting cut short when you're on Netflix? You got all night.
That's what I saw that, and I think that's a false story or a non-story or something they just put out just to see who's leaking stuff because, like you said, it's on Netflix and there's no names to who's mad. And if you actually think about it, even going 2.5 hours is over like the runtime. Like when they had 3-hour shows, if you go back and look at it on the network or Peacock, it's like only your last like 2 hours.
Yeah, that's because they took the commercials out of it. You still get commercials now.
Not on my end because I guess because we get I got like 2 promos throughout the night, but everything else was just straight up wrestling. So like you said, it factors in commercials as far as I guess like with other people watching. But then I guess when they like it was 3 hours back on USA Network, you got to factor in like the downtime when they're at commercials. Most times they weren't wrestling through commercials. I don't know.
I
Either
was just
way, go
I
ahead.
was just about to say I'm very intrigued about the live event experience on Netflix now versus on SmackDown when a wrestler will come out, stand in the ring, the lights will go off, there'll be like promo videos in the background. It's like that shit happens like 10 times a night when you're at the shows now. But now on Netflix, are they just like, is it like a pay-per-view type style? They just fucking going?
Yeah, yeah, it's going because like I said, I think I got like 2 promos, maybe 3 at max, but that was not during the match when I got the promos. Like anytime they like try to cut through when they're on the people that have ads on their end when they cut through the commercial break, they just literally the screen turns black for a little bit. When they come back, it's right to the wrestling again. So
Mm,
yeah, so like you said, it's probably presented more so like a pay per view.
nice. But yeah,
And
how'd you feel
actually,
about Penta's debut?
one more thing I was gonna say. Uh, Another thing is when they I guess they went on ads on some people's end, and when Chad Gable came out on my end, I was seeing him cut a promo. He was cutting a promo in the ring.
Oh,
I don't
nice.
I don't know if you have the ad version where you didn't see that.
No, I got ads, but I did hear that on the first week they said like New Day cut a promo from the box or whatever, and somebody else cut a promo, and they said it seemed kind of like off the cuff, like it wasn't a scripted promo that was a part of the storyline. It was just them like entertaining the crowd and shit. So maybe you will get more shit like that. That's also like good practice for them. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
you get to come out and cut a promo and only like half of the fucking people are gonna see it. But
yeah. Chad Gable was shitting on everybody.
yeah, I was gonna say, but the arena's gonna see it, so you'll get to cut live promos in front of the crowd. But it's not gonna be on TV and actually count. So go out there and try to get over, kid.
Yep.
Anyway, back to Penta and Chad Gable. How'd you like the debut of Pentagon?
I mean, they set it up where the presentation makes it seem like he's a star, like off the rip. So that was good. One thing I noticed off the in ring, like he's definitely wrestling the WWE style off the rip. The match was fine. It was good. I didn't like his theme music. I feel like that was trash. But then they let him go in there and after the match and give his like statement, say who he is and what he brings. And I like that. He put a lot of passion into it. Spoke some in Spanish. San Jose crowd ate it up. So they presented him like a star. So overall, it was a hit.
I liked it. I think he's gonna be huge. Only thing I didn't like, we all kind of knew it was gonna be Penta, but goddamn WWE. Fucking 12 hours before he debuts, they release his T-shirt and merch and shit like that all over social media. It's like
Yeah.
we didn't even know he was here yet.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that. Like, I get why they doing it because they feel like he doesn't have a bigger name as like because for like the past, especially during Vince's reign, you saw a lot of the surprises in wrestling gone. Like they announced John Cena coming back a week ahead of time, but then as far as this Triple H era, you start to see the surprise return a little bit. CM Punk, nobody really knew he was coming back, and then The Rock popping up on New Year's Day or whatnot, nobody really knew he was coming back. But I guess for the lesser known stars, they feel like they kind of want to have like a soft launch and put their name out there so they can get a reaction. Because then they do the same thing for Motor City. They kind of like gave out hints a few weeks
Yeah,
beforehand and threw it out there. So maybe they feel like people over there in TNA and AEW need a little bit of a kickstart as far as that goes.
yeah. Pentagon's gonna sell some merch though, and he's gonna sell.
Especially with that mask.
Yeah, he's
Expensive
gonna.
ass $100 mask.
Shit, them masks gonna be selling like hotcakes.
But yeah,
Um,
I don't know, man. I like it because he was a single star in Lucha Underground on the independent scene. But I don't know, man. Something's missing without having Ray Phoenix out there. I feel like they'll be really big as a tag team.
Maybe.
And we don't know his status though. I mean, he had all that injury time tacked on, so who knows if we'll see him in any time soon.
Well, EJ, it's time for my favorite segment of the week. It is your street clothes wrestler of the week. We gotta get some music for that.
I don't even know what kind of music you play for that.
I know what kind I'd play for who I'm picking. We have my street clothes wrestler of the week. She wins it all the time. It's been a while, but I knew she was going to win when I saw what she was wearing last night. And I don't even think I saw all of it. I saw the rest of it on Instagram. And when I say the rest of it, I use that term loosely because there wasn't a lot. Miss Liv Morgan. Woo!
Like I said, we just rename it the Liv Morgan Street Clothes Wrestler of the Week. It's probably like her 5th or 6th time winning it.
The Liv Morgan Award. Don't be hating.
I'm not hating. I'm just pointing out your choice of winner that happens frequently.
It's not my fault Jada Parker wasn't on TV.
Miss Parker. She's been a ghost for a couple weeks, hasn't she?
Yep. Who you got, EJ?
Whoa, what did Liv have on?
Damn near nothing. You didn't check her Instagram? No, she was wearing all black. She had like black boots, some little black shorts. I believe the kids call them booty shorts because in her second Instagram slide, not that I'm telling anybody to go look at her Instagram and go to the second slide, there wasn't a lot of material there. And Dom brought her flowers. She said, "Yo, whatever, motherfucker. Go warm the car up." His dumb ass turned around and said, "Look, guys, she ain't even mad."
Where are they going with that? Because I think that they're finally planting the seeds. Like, she got what she wanted. And now he's old news. Like,
yeah.
Chewed him up and spit him out.
Maybe her and
You
Finn.
think they're going to go on to like a full-on breakup?
I don't see why not. And then Dom's going to have to swim by himself after that.
But does he?
Yeah.
But then the way they're setting it up, though, is they're trying to kind of make him like a sympathetic character if she just, chews him up and spits him out. And Dom's is like a perennial heel. What's that?
He deserves it.
Does he, though?
Yeah, he deserves it. As soon as she lost, he tried to get back with Rhea Ripley.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did. He jumped in the ring trying to hug Rhea, and she kicked him in the nuts, and then gave him the riptide.
I think but the way he's doing it, he was just trying to like trick her though. Like,
no, he was trying. What was he gonna do? Beat her up? He was trying to get back with her. He got in the ring and apologized to her and everything.
I don't know, man.
Sympathetic figure, Dominic. Nobody got no sympathy for this motherfucker. He was with Rhea and got to live. Where's the sympathy?
But then I feel bad for like Carlito though. I feel like if they broke up, he would just be on Main Event.
I feel like that's about where he slots in
at. Damn, man. Carlito's kind of like a mini legend in the eyes of like the Gen Zers. Like,
yeah, but right now,
apples in people's faces.
Carlito, not cool.
And then don't even get me started on JD McDonough if the group breaks up.
The head of the
Finn
class.
is Finn, like Finn is Finn. So I think we would just have to. You probably just could make a tag team out of Carlito and JD if they were to go to
on Main Event.
Yeah, call it something though. Give them an official tag team name. I hate tag teams that don't have names. But yeah,
call them Applehead.
Yeah, JD and his big ass head. Oh man, I guess we'll have to see how it plays out. My street clothes wrestler of the week. You probably appreciate this one. She's like in her managerial bag right now. She's not doing a whole ton of, but she's like the muscle, I guess. But she's always been a muscle. But she's letting our girl Chelsea shine. I'm giving it to Piper Niven. She came out in the suit, sparkly suit. I liked it. You know, it was different. It was all black, very sparkly. You know, had the white blouse underneath it. So, shout out to Piper Niven.
Game blouses.
I feel like she finally shook off like that whole dewdrop debacle because I thought that would be like following her around forever. People I think like slowly forgot about it.
People like Piper Niven.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck
really
Vince
do.
was thinking.
I'm shocked that they've kept her as a heel as long as they have because I mean I know it's hard to. Bigger wrestlers, men and women, are always usually heels just because of their size or whatever. But I feel like she'd be a good babyface.
Yeah, I could see that. You know, then she. I didn't watch a whole lot of her stuff on NXT UK. Was she a face over there?
Ooh, I can't remember. I want to think she was a heel.
Mm.
I know she beat Santana Garrett in the Mae Young Classic, which, looking back now, Santana deserved it.
Yeah. You know, whenever she comes on the show, then she won't deserve it then.
Okay. I'll be at fucking Trump's inauguration party before that fucking happens.
Hey, man. Don't put that evil on us, Ricky Bobby.
You believe they inaugurating this motherfucker on MLK Day?
That's some shit.
I am now bigger than Martin Luther King. We can change the day to Martin Luther Trump Day. He gonna say some stupid shit like that. This next 4 years is about to be sheer comedy.
Man, I'm sitting back with my popcorn. You don't get political on there, but yeah, it like this story slid under the radar. It's like he came out to call. He's like, now, hold up, now I didn't say I could bring down groceries. It's gonna be hard to do that. It's gonna be hard to do that.
Now that I got y'all's vote, I just want y'all to know y'all misquoted the shit out of me.
Yeah, so that came out like 3 weeks ago. So hey, man. The people have spoken. He got voted in. So like you said, it's gonna be interesting 4 years. But
Martin Luther King was a great man, but I am greater. He was never a 2-time president. He never had why. Carrie Underwood sing at his inauguration.
Yeah, that's your girl, though. You love the Sunday Night Football theme.
Oh, my God. This is about to be straight fucking comedy. I'm laughing because I'm hoping it's not going to be a shit show, but I got a feeling that it is. But, yeah. Anyway, let's get to power rankings.
I can never keep track of who went last week.
I'll go first. Show you that I don't remember who wrestled. My number 5 is the team of Tatum Paxley, Shotzi, and Gigi Dolan. They got a big win over what's them girls' names? Fallon Henley and
Fatal Influence.
Fatal Influence. There you go.
Shotzi's
got to stop doing that fucking suicide dive. She's gonna hurt herself.
They used to say that about Mercedes.
Did I?
Her suicide dive when she was Sasha.
She did. I don't remember what it was. She did used to do something though, where she would be like a fucking lawn dart, like head first into the ground. But Shotzi doesn't even get through the ropes all the way. Like she gets caught up in the ropes every time. Stop.
Like I said, I'm all about having official names. They should make them an official group with a name because they all got the kind of creepy girl vibes, goth creepy girl vibes.
Yeah.
But like you said, they picked up that win. Excuse me. My number 5. Big win in the main event of SmackDown this past Friday. I got the Bloodline. I guess they're still the Bloodline. Solo's kind of been ghost. Jacob Fatu pinned your boy Jimmy on SmackDown to get the win in the tag team match.
Jimmy and Cody. What a weird team that was.
Yeah, very weird.
Makes no fucking sense. So now Cody's just BFF with the whole fucking bloodline.
Cody's like, yeah, give me one of those Usos. Yeah, they both look alike anyway.
Uso number 2.
Number 4 is your new women's IC champion, Rucker's girl, Lyra Valkyria. I mean, I had to be objective. Like, I don't get it. She's good in the ring, but she's just like a background character. And so maybe she'll be the workhorse, and that'll put her on another level. But yeah, that's my number 4.
Maybe they put it on a smaller woman like her, so Roxy can come in and take it from her.
I feel like Roxy's on her way up at the Rumble to make her way to the main roster.
Yeah, I feel that. So who was your number 4?
My number 4 is Lyra, so I was waiting on your number 4.
My number 4 is still your TNT champion, Daniel Garcia.
Yeah, how fun was that match in person?
It was fun because you know what I like to do when I'm watching wrestling live?
Drink.
Whenever there's a whenever there's a boot to the face, I like to yell out, "Boot to the face!" And I did that shit a lot during that match because they just kept kicking each other in the face. So if you go back and listen, you might be able to hear it. I think we couldn't keep up at a certain point.
Yeah, I kept seeing you in the crowd, so you had very good seats. And we didn't even talk about the guy dressed up as Sting next to you.
Oh man, that dude looked just like Sting. Like as far as his face and shit goes, like facial structure, he had the fucking little soul patch here. But I mean, like his face looked like he was a better fake Sting than the fake Sting was. Like, he actually fucking looked like Sting. He even had the fucking bomber jacket on. Like, he had the whole 9. And I'm not just talking about the clothes and the paint. I mean, like, again, his facial structure looked like Sting. And then he just sat there stoic as fuck. Like, I didn't see him get up and clap or anything. I mean, he kept standing up, but he was just like... I'm trying to think. Somebody got out of the ring and walked by... And I saw him on TV be like, good match. And then he just went back like that. But he said, good match. But yeah, that was pretty dope. Yeah,
I feel like we saw him at an other event too.
I don't
Maybe
know.
Revolution. I don't know. Maybe I'm just making shit up.
I mean, people dress like Sting all the time. And his outfit wasn't any better than anybody else. I'm talking like the hair, everything was like, this motherfucker could be Sting. Like, I had to take a double look when I looked over there. Like, why would Sting be in the front row dressed as Sting?
Yeah, I thought that was pretty dope.
My number 3, your new women's intercontinental champion, Miss Lyra Valkyria. She has some dope entrance music, too.
Yeah, I mean, we all see what you rely on your interest music a little bit too much. Okay, Seth. That's all they chant when he comes up. They don't even chant his name. But I digress. Yeah, I mean, I thought it would have been dope if Dakota won it, but I guess it's not in the stars.
I think maybe they want to push Dakota, but it's like, let's see how long we can get you to go before you get hurt again, before we like really push you. And I'm not trying to be funny when I say that, but it could just be a test. Like, let's put her out here, have her just about win the Intercontinental Championship. That's what, 3 or 4 matches, and let's have her keep coming out. And if she can go without getting hurt, then maybe we will put something on her. But for right now, we don't trust her body. I'm guessing that's what it is, because she's looking good in the ring though. I was never really a big fan of her, but I'm liking this comeback.
My number 3 is the number 1 contender for the AEW World Title, Powerhouse Hobb. What are his chances of pulling out this win on tomorrow?
Same as Jay's beating Gunther.
Ah, shit. That'd That'd be dope if they, like you said, they swerved this and had Powerhouse win it from Mox.
If he just like dominated him.
Yeah. Just beat the shit out of him and take the title.
It ain't gonna happen just because that ain't gonna fit the storyline. But he just beat the shit out of Mox for like 5 minutes, pins him, fucking power slams Marina and gets the briefcase off of her, and the fucking briefcase is empty.
That'd be hilarious.
Fucking IOU is in there.
I feel like that's gonna happen. Whoever wins it, I feel like the title's not gonna be in there. They're gonna extend the storyline like that, but I don't know. Guess we have to see how it plays out. My number 2 is your new NXT Women's Champion, somebody that Rucker is not really high on, Julia.
I'm not low on her. I just like Stephanie better.
I think she's gonna be a bigger star than Stephanie.
First off, our number 2 and number 1 are probably the same. We both got Julia and Oba, right?
Yeah.
We'll get to Oba in a second. I want to amend my number 5.
What? You can't do that. It's too late.
Yeah, I'm gonna amend it because I just remembered something. Stephanie Vaquer is now the number 1 contender for Fallon Henley's title. That's a way bigger win with who she beat than Gigi, Shotzi, and Tatum winning.
Okay, we'll allow that there.
But shout out to NXT. I was bitching for Netflix last week not having but one women's segment the whole time, and that was a match. NXT rolled out and said, "Here you go, Ruck. We got the fucking North American Women's Championship number 1 contenders match. We got the Women's World Title match. We got a fucking 6-woman tag match. Like, they had all the women out there, and that's why NXT is better."
What do you mean? What do you mean it's better?
I stopped what I was saying because it's not better than Raw or SmackDown, but it's better
it has its moments.
It's better than Collision.
I don't know. You had a good time at Collision. I like Collision.
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have a great time at NXT.
I'm sure you will. I don't know for all the right reasons though.
What other reasons would there be than to have fun?
I don't know what kind of fun we talking about. But we digress. I feel like I said, man, NXT stacked on their women's side as far as talent goes. They need to bring back those NXT women's tag belts, I think. But
yeah, I agree with you when you said there was no reason for those to be combined with the regular women's titles, but we'll see. Oba Femi, your new world heavyweight champion. How'd you like that?
I had a feeling that was the route they were going when they announced this match, but I thought it would be Eddie Thorpe taking the pin, and it was Trick, but it wasn't clean. He got who get hit by?
He got hit by Eddie Thorpe with a chair.
Yeah, so he got hit with a chair, and Oba was able to get it. So
that is clean. Oba's still triple threat match. There's no DQs.
What doesn't even make sense. Like, why did Vince or whoever make that rule? Like, I feel like the perfect thing to do is you do something dirty, you get disqualified, and it turns into a one-on-one match. But what I know, yeah, it's no DQ, so it was no rule. So Oba able to get the title. So I got a feeling it's gonna be Trick and Roxanne Perez probably going up to the main roster. I don't know how I feel about that if that's the route they go.
Yeah,
as far as Trick goes,
the only reason I wouldn't like it for Trick is because I don't feel like he got a good run with the title. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, but like Roxy's had a great run as the women's champ. Trick, I just feel like both times he's had the belt, it's been lackluster. Like, and then he loses it so quick. He just fucking got it back like 2 weeks ago.
Maybe it feels like he got it back 2 weeks ago, but okay. So, Stand and Deliver, he faced Carmelo. He got it off of Ilya Dragunov, April, May? He had it until Ethan Page won it. When did Ethan Page win it? Like August, probably?
Ethan Page's one run was longer than both the Trick's 2 runs.
I don't know about that. Maybe it just seems like that. All Eagle didn't have it that long. He probably defended it like once. So maybe because they were split up, but I feel like Trick needed to do. He did what he needed to do with the title. I mean,
all right.
me personally,
Trick Williams had the title from April 23rd, and he had the belt for 75 days the first time. That's 2.5 months. Ethan Page had it for 86 days. And then Trick won it October 1st, and he had it for 98 days.
So the second run was longer than his first one and longer than Ethan Page's run.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I still think Trick is going to be a star just because he's over. He could talk, but for some reason, I like him a little bit better as a heel because I feel like, especially when he was with Carmelo and he's kind of like the sidekick, he just came up with like funny one-liners that you're like, you have to rewind back and like, oh, what the fuck he just say? And I feel like that's a little bit gone now that he's like the kind of serious face. He's like this, I don't know. But, maybe, I don't know. It can go either way with the main roster if that is the direction that he goes. Because I want to see him do well.
We were talking about this a couple weeks ago. We were talking about multiple-time champions. Did we point out that Samoa Joe's the only 3-time champion?
I didn't know he won it 3 times. We pointed out that he won it twice.
Yep. All the 2-time winners, Finn Balor, Braun Breaker, Ciampa, Trick, Shinsuke, Karrion Kross, and then Joe won it 3 times. I didn't know Karrion Kross was a 2-time champion.
Yeah. I remember I didn't know it at first, but then when I looked it up and said it last time we talked about it, I pointed that out because he got hurt. But I didn't know Joe won it 3 times. So shout out to Samoa Joe.
Obafemi, 1 reign, 5+ days. Damn, Dolph only had it for a month.
He only had it for a month? I mean, I thought he had it longer than that.
He had 27 days, wasn't even 4 weeks.
Then Braun got it back. Yeah, then Braun got it back.
Keith Lee had it for 52 days.
Yeah, he didn't have it long.
Gargano only had it for 57 days. There's some short fucking reigns in here. Sami Zayn only 2 months, 62 days.
They don't do a lot of lengthy reigns with that title. It's meant to be like a.
I mean, Adam Cole had it for over a year.
He was the exception.
396 days with 1 reign.
Adrian
Neville had 1 reign, 287 days, and Bo Dallas had it for 280.
I feel like then Finn, when he went back now, didn't he have it for a good bit? His second run?
His 2 reigns combined for 504 days.
Yeah. So.
Damn. There's been some long runs in this. I didn't know NXT was around this damn long. It's a lot.
Yeah. Seth was the first champion. It's been a while for like 2012. It's been around for a long time.
Yep. 2012. Seth won the title July 26th in Winter Park, Florida. And that is all the time we have, EJ. Anything you want to say before we get up out of here?
No, sir. Got NFL playoffs. We don't need to pick them, but
yeah, it's only 4 games. Give me the Chiefs, the Ravens, the Lions, and the Rams.
I got the Chiefs, the Bills, the Lions, and the Eagles. I hate to say it, the Eagles. And then we got a new search for a coach in Arlington, Dallas, Texas.
Money.
That was your guy. You didn't want to see him go.
Must be the money.
If I'm Dion, I'm staying far away from. I don't want to see that happen to Dion. Not until Jerry dies. It had to sound morbid. Because he's not going to get to do what he wants. It's just going to be Jerry in his face.
Dion is a big enough personality and a big enough star to where he ain't going to take Jerry's shit.
Okay. Until Jerry fires him.
Okay, well then you got to fire me. But you already did this with Jimmy. You already did it with Jimmy Johnson. You really going to fire me when we're actually winning? Because I'm not going to listen to you? Fire me then. I can see this. I can see this being a fucking press conference. He mad at me because I'm doing things my way, but we 7-0 right now. Fire me. And then tell your fans why you fired me and why you ain't won a Super Bowl since I played in 1995. Fire me. That's what I want. If Jerry wants a fucking circus, let's make it a circus. Bring me Dion. I want Dion on my sideline, swagged out in them big ass fucking gangster pit vipers he be wearing, dancing on the sideline and shit. That's the kind of coach I want. I'm tired of these fucking old, and I hate to say it like this, these old, boring. I ain't gonna say that word, but you know what I'm getting at. Like, give me some. I know Dion ain't young; he's like 50 something, but he ain't 70 or 65 like fucking Mike McCarthy. Like, Dion's been around college kids lately. Dion's been around college programs. Quit bringing these fucking dinosaurs in here with their playbook from 1988. I want Dion.
Bro, but you like McCarthy's play calling and shit.
No, I didn't like his play call. I like McCarthy as a coach. I thought McCarthy was a good coach. I thought for what he had to put up with Jerry and the Joneses, I thought he did well. Went to the playoffs 3 years in a row. For the last 20 years, EJ, we would make the playoffs one time and then miss it for the next 3 to 4 years. We were in the playoffs every year for 3 years under McCarthy. And damn near snuck in this year with all the fucking injuries. He's a better coach than people give him credit for, but when you go to Dallas, you get anybody else does the coaching job he did this year with all the bullshit Jerry Jones put them through with the roster and all the drama, and then you tack on all the injuries, and you were still fighting for the playoffs with like 3 weeks left. That's a good coaching job. JD Hoop real quick says, what are your thoughts on Omos and Noah? I didn't know he was going to Noah.
He's been doing this thing over there. He got the tag team belts. I think it's good for him to develop over there, out of the scrutiny of the U.S. audience. And I saw a video of him on TikTok and him roaming the streets over there in Japan and did a little interview. So shout out to him for, getting some reps over there.
Maybe he'll get real famous, and when I go over there, they'll think I'm Omos.
They probably will, just because black.
Exactly.
Even though you're a foot shorter.
I'm more than a foot. I'm like 2 feet shorter than that motherfucker. What is he, like 7'12"?
Yeah, he's like 7'4".
Go over there and get some free food everywhere. Walk into 7-Eleven. I don't have to pay for my egg sandwich. Anyway. Yeah, I want Dion. I don't think any other. If I don't get Dion, give me Aaron Glenn. But 1, I want a younger coach. 2, I want a coach that played not Jason Garrett or Kellen Moore. 3, I want a black coach.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, this coaching carousel. I wouldn't be mad at Prime, but I hate to see Jerry get in his way and try to sabotage him, which will most likely happen.
Jerry wants me to play Ezekiel Elliott, but Zeke is my backup. I'm playing Rico Dowdle. That would have been the fucking press conference Prime would have said. And then Jerry would have had to fucking either fire him or release the player. And then we know that you're trying to run the show. Dion ain't going to put up with that shit.
Like I always say, I guess we got to see how it plays out.
For EJ Reed, I'm Chris Rucker. Hopefully next week when we talk to y'all, we will have a new head coach in Dallas, and he will reside on 21st and Prime. Peace!